So good evening, students. So welcome to another session of zoology online classes. Right. So we've been started off with the Morgan's experiment. Right. So if you could remember in the previous session, we started off with Morgan's dihybrid cross. Right, where we have seen that he started working out on an organism called as Drosophila melanogaster, and we have also seen that he had taken three different characters, right, which were all present on the X chromosome for performing his work. Right. So three characters, what Morgan had chosen was, we saw that the first one was the body, the color of the body, right, where brown was dominant and yellow was recessive. The second character, what he was taken into consideration was the color of the eye, where red was dominant and white was recessive. And the third character, which was taken into consideration, was the size of the wing, where normal size was said to be dominant and miniature wings were said to be recessive. So if you could recollect, in the previous session, we started off with Morgan's dihybrid cross. So we saw that Morgan performed two different crosses, and with the help of these three characters. So he performed two different crosses, of which we started off with the first cross. So let us begin with and continue and finish off with the crosses which was actually performed by Morgan. So we are talking about Morgan's dihybrid cross in case of Drosophila melanogaster. So the first character what we saw was a female organism having yellow body and white eye was crossed with a male organism having brown body and red eye. So these were the crosses, these were the parental generation what we had taken into consideration. A yellow-bodied, white-eyed female was crossed with a brown-bodied, red-eyed male. So talking about the genotypes of this, we said that all the three characters which were chosen by Morgan to do his crosses or the dihybrid crosses were all located on the X chromosome only. And we saw that thing also, how exactly the genes were arranged. So if this is the X chromosome, so one gene was here, the other gene is here, and the third gene is actually present here. Right. So these two characters were actually in the first cross, these two characters were actually taken into consideration. One character is with regards to the color of the body, second character with regards to the color of the eye, the third character was with regards to the size of the wing. Right. So this is one X chromosome and this is the other X chromosome. Right. Therefore, this individual would be a female. So we said that yellow-bodied, white-eyed female. So if you could recollect the alleles what we showed in the previous session, recessive allele is shown by a small letter. So here it would be YY and W would be white, would denote white. So these were the genotypes. In case of males, the genotype was, this was the X chromosome, two genes on the X chromosome and one more gene here. So since brown is dominant, brown is denoted by Y plus, red is dominant, red is denoted by W plus, and the other one would be a male chromosome. Right. So these are the chromosomes which are seen with regards to yellow-bodied, white-eyed female, brown-bodied, red-eyed male. And we've got the F1 generation of this. So F1 generation, so there is only one scene here, only one gamete which is being formed, and this gamete is YW here. And here there are two different types of gametes we have seen formed because there is one X chromosome and one Y chromosome. So here this would be Y plus and this would be W plus, and the second chromosome would be the Y chromosome. Now when these two are crossed together in the F1 generation, we saw what we got in the F1 generation. So this X chromosome containing female gamete is crossed with X chromosome containing male gamete. So this would be the female here with Y here and W here. And here this would be the chromosome of the male gamete. So this would be Y plus and this would be W plus, and these two would remain here as such. So this is one of the offspring formed in the F1 generation. The second offspring formed in the F1 generation would be again X chromosome of the female organism having Y and W, and this would be the male chromosome. So if we see the phenotypes of this, Y plus is dominant. So this individual here would be brown body and W plus is dominant, and this one would have red eye. So in the F1 generation, the female had brown bodied red eye, whereas the male was said to be yellow bodied white eye. So yellow body, white eye. So this is what we have seen in the previous session till here. Right. Now when F1 individuals are crossed, right? When F1 individuals are crossed, so what are the different types of gametes we get first? So here there are 4 different types of gametes which are obtained, and here there are only 2 different types of gametes obtained. So we have seen what are those gametes also in the previous session. So let us quickly go through those 4 different types of gametes which are formed, right? So this is with regards to the first gamete, which is formed in case of males. So the first gamete would be YW. The second gamete would be Y plus W. The third gamete here would be YW plus, and the fourth gamete here would be Y and W. So here this would be as such here. Now these are the 4 gametes which is obtained from the brown bodied red-eyed female, and in case of males 2 different types of gametes are obtained. So one is X chromosome containing male gamete, so it would be YW here, right? So here again, so Y and W here, right? And the other one would be here the male gamete, right? Now these are the gametes of the F1 generation. Now when these 2 are crossed, we would be getting the F2 generation. So let us start making the cross. First one, this first X chromosome containing female gamete would be crossed with Y chromosome containing the male gamete. Similarly, the same X chromosome containing the female gamete would be crossed with the Y chromosome. So let us start making the cross first. So let us take up with the females and then with the males. So first, this X chromosome crossed with the X chromosome of the male gamete. Now when these 2 are crossed, what do we get? So here would be the first organism here, first diploid organism here. So here it would be Y and W. The next one, so this chromosome here. So here again it would be YW here. So this is the first individual that is being formed. Now since there are 2 X chromosomes, so this would be a female individual. Second one, this second X chromosome containing Y gamete fused with the X chromosome containing the male gamete. So if that is the case here, so what would be the offsprings here? So here it would be Y plus W, and in this it would be Y and W. So this also one X chromosome. So here the individual again would be a female individual. Third, the third X chromosome containing female gamete fused with the Y chromosome containing the male gamete. So if that is the case, so what would be the genotypes here obtained? So what would be the genotypes obtained here? First one with regards to the female gamete, so it would be YW plus, right, crossed with Y and W. Now this also is X chromosome, this also is X chromosome, so the individual here would be a female individual. Last one, this X chromosome now of the female gamete when fused with the X chromosome of the male gamete, right? So when it fuses with the X chromosome of the male gamete, so here it would be YW, and here again Y and W. Now this individual, again X chromosome and X chromosome, this individual would be a female individual, right? So these are the all female offspring which are being formed. Now let's take up with the male offsprings that are formed, right? So again, this X chromosome containing the female gamete fuses with the Y chromosome, right? So if that is the case, the first condition here would be X here, right? So it would be first W, Y and W, and a male gamete. The second one again here, now this is one X chromosome and this is a Y chromosome, so this individual would be a male individual. Second one here would be Y plus W, so Y plus W, and here another male chromosome. So this is again X, Y. So this also would be male. The third one again, X chromosome of the female gamete fused with the Y chromosome of the male gamete. So the genotypes would be Y, W plus and a male gamete. So X and Y chromosomes, male individuals. And the last one here would be X chromosome of the female gamete, where it is Y and W and fusing with the Y chromosome of the male gamete. So this also is a male. So these are the 8 different progeny that are obtained when the F1 generation offsprings are said to be intercrossed with each other. Right. Now let's take up with the phenotypes of this particular individual. So let's start with the female individuals and we'll start getting the phenotypes. In the phenotype, we know that small y alone would represent a yellow body and a recessive triad, and W would represent white color, again a recessive triad. Now, since both are YY, WW, this individual will have yellow body, white eye. Right? So there is a yellow body, white eye female is being obtained. The second condition, it is the genotypes would be Y plus and Y. We know that Y plus is said to be a dominant allele, right, compared to Y. So if there is a dominant allele present, so definitely the law of dominance would be applicable here. Therefore, only the dominant trait would be expressed. So the dominant trait here is actually brown body, right? So this individual will have a brown body. And what about the eye color here? Since both are W and W, which is a recessive, right? The individual here will have white eye. So brown body, white eye female. The third condition, Y and Y, both are said to be recessive alleles. Now, since both are said to be recessive alleles, the phenotype here would be yellow body. And talking about the eye color, it is W plus and W. Now, we know that W plus is said to be dominant, which is red eye, and W is recessive, which is white eye. Now, since it is in a heterozygote condition here, W plus would be expressed. Therefore, the eye color would be here red. So this would be yellow bodied, red eyed female. And in the last condition again, Y and Y both are actually recessive. Right? Y and Y both are recessive. Excuse me here. So actually the last one would be Y plus here. Right? So the last one here would be Y plus and W plus here. Right? Okay. So here again, both are said to be heterozygous. Now, since both are heterozygous, Y plus and Y together, it would give us the dominant trait would be expressed, and the dominant trait here would be brown eyed, and W plus and W. It is heterozygous for both the eye color also. Now, since it is heterozygote, only a dominant allele would be expressed, and that dominant trait here would be the red eye. So this individual will have brown bodied, red eyed individual. So when we talk about the female offsprings which are formed in the F2 generation, right? One offspring is said to have yellow bodied white eye. Second one is said to have brown bodied white eye. Third one is said to have yellow bodied red eye. And the fourth one is said to have brown bodied red eye. So these are the phenotypes which are actually seen in the F2 generation individual. Now talking about the phenotype of the males. Now, since there is only one X chromosome, so there is nothing much to worry about the heterozygote condition. Whatever trait is present on the X chromosome, so the same trait would be expressed. So in the first condition, the individual would be yellow bodied, white eye. Right, this is the first condition. Second condition, Y plus is brown body, and W is white eye. Right, so brown bodied, white eye. The third condition again. Right, so the third condition, okay, so the third condition again would be Y and W plus. Now, since it is Y and W plus, the individual here would be yellow, and since it is W plus, it would be red. And in the fourth condition, the gametes here would be Y plus and W plus. Right, so since Y plus is present, this individual will have brown body, and since W plus is present, this individual will have a red eye. So brown body, red eye. Right? So these are the offsprings which are formed in the F2 generation in both the male as well as females. Right. Now, one very important thing what we need to remember. After performing this particular experiment, right? After Morgan performed this experiment, he started concluding, saying that the number of parental offsprings obtained from this cross was said to be much, much higher compared to the recombinants obtained from this cross, right? So what did he say? I'm repeating it once again. So what Morgan said is, after completing this experiment, he said that the number of offsprings formed, right, which resembled the parents was said to be much, much higher than the number of offsprings which are formed, right, which were recombinants. So what does that mean? Number of parental type offsprings was said to be much higher than the recombinants that were formed. So he estimated that, right? So he estimated that about 98 point. So he estimated that, right? So what did he say? He estimated that about 98.7% of the progeny obtained in the F1 generation resembled the parents, right? It resembled the parents, and remaining 1.3% offsprings were of the recombinants. So this is very important thing what you need to remember, right? So what he said, among the offsprings formed in the F2 generation, right, 98.7% resembled the parents, that is yellow-bodied white-eyed female and brown body red-eyed males. So almost 98.7% of the offsprings formed in the F2 generation resembled the parents, whereas the number of recombinants were again said to be only 1.3% of the total offsprings. So what does this mean? Number of recombinants is less. So that shows that the distance between the two genes is actually less. Now, if you could remember in the previous sessions, we said that the distance between the two genes is dependent on the distance between the two genes, right? So the recombination is actually dependent on the distance between the two genes. If the distance between the two genes is less, the extent of crossing over would be less. If the extent of crossing over is less, the number of recombinants obtained would be less. Similarly, we also said that if the distance between the two genes is more, right? If the distance between the two genes is said to be more, right? In that case, the crossing over, the extent of crossing over is said to be more. Now, since the extent of crossing over is more, the number of recombinants would be more. That was a conclusion, that was a statement which was actually given by Morgan, right? So the same thing would be applicable here. Now, since the genes responsible for the body color as well as eye color were very close together, right? The number of recombinants were actually said to be only 1.3% of the total offsprings, whereas 98.7% exactly resembled the parents. So this was the first cross what Morgan had done, right, to study the dihybrid cross in case of Drosophila by taking into consideration two characters. The first character being the color of the eye, excuse me. So being the color of the eye as well as the other one, the color of the body. These two genes are very close together. Now, things what you have to remember in this is one very important thing. What are the parental types which were taken into consideration? A yellow-bodied, white-eyed female was crossed with a brown-bodied, red-eyed male. Right. So as a result of the cross, in the F1 generation, the females were said to have brown body and red eye, whereas the males were said to have yellow body and white eye. Now, in turn, when the F1 generations were intercrossed, so these were the different types of offsprings which are obtained in the F2 generation. So after observing the results of the F2 generation, Morgan concluded that 98.7% of the offsprings resembled the parents. They were of parental types, whereas 1.3% of the offsprings were exactly the recombinants, right? So the number of recombinants were said to be very low. This is because the distance between the two genes under consideration was said to be very less. Now, since the distance between the two genes is less, crossing over frequency is said to be less. Since crossover frequency is said to be less, the number of recombinant obtained would also be less. Right? So this is what we have with the first cross what Mendel had done. The second cross what Morgan had done. Now let us take up with the second cross what Morgan had done, what Morgan performed. So in the second cross again, two characters were taken into consideration. Right? So in the second cross, two characters were taken into consideration. So I told you that Morgan chose 3 characters for carrying out his dihybrid cross or for his experiments in genetics to study the inheritance pattern, of which first character is the color of the body, second character is the color of the eye, the third character is the size of the wing. And I told you that all 3 characters are located on the same chromosome. So if this is the chromosome here, that is the X chromosome. So on the X chromosome, we said one character is here, the other character is here. So this character, color of the body, right? So this character is color of the eye, and the third character was somewhere here, which is the size of the wing. Right. So in the first cross, he performed a dihybrid cross taking these 2 characters into consideration. This is the first cross by taking the body color as well as the eye color. In the second cross, what we are going to see now, right? He again chose 2 characters, which is the color of the eye and size of the wing. Right. So in this, if you see, in the first cross, the distance between the 2 genes is less. In the second cross, the distance between the 2 genes is said to be more. So he chose the eye color as well as the size of the wing. Now we know that we have already seen that in the eye color, there are 2 contrasting traits present, right? So one is the red eye and the other one is the white eye. So we have already seen that red eye is said to be dominant, white eye is said to be recessive. The second character in the second cross is the size of the wing. So again, in the size of the wing also, there are 2 contrasting traits present. One is normal wing, second one is miniature wing, that is short. Normal wing is said to be dominant, miniature wing is said to be recessive. Right. So let's start performing the cross. Cross number 2 or cross B or the second cross which Mendel had taken. So in the second cross, everything is the same, just like what we saw in the previous cross, but only thing is the characters would be different. So in this cross, what he chose was again a pure line female and pure line male was chosen. The female was again said to have recessive traits for both the characters. That is, the female had white eye, the female was white eye, and the female had miniature wings. Miniature wings. Miniature wings. Right. Now, this female was crossed with a male individual having red eye and normal wings. Red eye and normal wings. Now, again, I told you that all of the characters which were chosen by Mendel were located on the X chromosome only. So let us see the genotype of these particular individuals. So this is the X chromosome, 2 X chromosome, right? So here the first gene, the second gene, and the third gene. Here also the first gene, second gene, and the third gene. Now this is one X chromosome and this is another X chromosome. So this time we'll be taking into consideration these 2 characters which are actually far apart. One, the first, second, or this particular gene is responsible for the color of the eye. So the color of the eye is said to be white. Now we know that white is a recessive trait. And how did we denote a recessive trait? Using the letter W and W. Now talking about wing size, we are talking about miniature wings. We know that miniature wings are nothing but short wings. And that miniature wing is a recessive trait again. Now since it is a recessive trait, how did we denote the recessive trait? By using, so here also W plus, sorry, by using M and M, right? So this is how we denote a recessive trait. In case of males, again, there is one X chromosome and there is one Y chromosome being present. Again, 3 different genes on this, right? So we are talking about the second gene and the third gene. Since it is red, so this would be W plus, and since this is normal, it would be M plus, right? So these are the genotypes of the parental generation, right? Now, before making the cross, what do we do usually? We start taking the gametes, right? So in case of females, only one type of gamete would be formed, right? Because both the X chromosomes are same. So one will be W here and this would be M here. In case of males, 2 different types of gametes would be formed. One would be the X chromosome containing male gamete and the other one would be the Y chromosome, right? Talking about the genes here, W plus and M plus. Now, when these two are crossed together in the F1 generation, right? So what do we get in the F1 generation? So in the F1 generation, two different types of offspring would be formed. So one with X chromosome containing the female gamete, or female gamete containing the X chromosome, right? So this would be W and M would be crossed with the X chromosome, which is seen in case of the male gamete, right? So here the genotype here would be W plus, and here it would be M plus. So W plus and M plus. Same thing again, this X chromosome of the female gamete would fuse with the Y chromosome of the male gamete. So here the genes would be again, so this would be W here and this would be M here. So this would be the F1 generation. F1 generation. Now, when we start making the when we start identifying the phenotypes, what would be the phenotypes here again? So here, first case, it is a heterozygous condition, W and W plus. We know that W plus is the dominant allele, W is a recessive allele. Since W plus is present, a dominant trait would be expressed, and that dominant trait here would be red eye. Next, the next character. This character is also said to be heterozygous, whereas M and M plus. We know that M plus is said to be dominant over M. So therefore, the dominant trait again would be expressed. So the dominant trait here for the size of the wing would be normal. So this individual, female individual, because both are X chromosome. So this female individual in the F1 generation would have red eyes and normal wings. Whereas in case of males, since there is only one X chromosome, and on that since there is only one allele present, W is a recessive allele, and we know that this individual will have white eye, and M is again a recessive allele, so this individual will have miniature wings. Right? So this is what X chromosome, this is Y chromosome. So the male here would have white eye and miniature wings. So things what you need to remember here, when a white-eyed miniature wing female is crossed with a red-eyed normal wing male, in the F1 generation, all females are said to have red-eyed and normal wings, whereas all the males are said to have white-eyed and miniature wing. So if you just see here, it is quite opposite in case of parental generation as well as the F1 generation. Now what Mendel did again, he intercrossed the F1 generation progeny, right? He intercrossed the F1 generation progeny. Now as a result of this intercross, what do we observe here, right? In case of females, again, 4 different types of gametes would be obtained, just like what we saw in the previous cross. 4 different types of gametes would be obtained in case of the female individual. So what are those 4 different types of gametes? So the first gamete containing X chromosome would have W and M. So the second gamete would have, so we are talking about the female gamete, second gamete would have W plus and M. The third gamete here, right? So the third gamete here would have W and M plus, and the fourth gamete here would have W plus M plus. So these are the 4 different gametes which are obtained from the red-eyed normal wing females, right? So what are the gametes that are obtained with regards to the male individual? White-eyed miniature wing individual. So 2 different types of gametes would be possible here. So those 2 different types of gametes, one will have the X chromosome containing the genes W and M. The other one, it will be the Y chromosome, which is actually being present, right? So this is what is the gametes which are being formed, the female gametes as well as the male gametes. Now, when we start crossing the female gametes with the male gametes, what do we get in the F2 generation? So here we are talking about the F2 generation. So what happens in the F2 generation? Again, the same thing. X chromosome of the female gamete fuses with the X chromosome of the male gamete. Similarly, this X chromosome of the female gamete would again fuse with the Y chromosome. So similar case is seen with all of the 4 female gametes. So all these 4 female gametes would fuse with these 2 male gametes. So let us quickly see what are the offsprings or the genotypes which are obtained as a result of these crosses, just like what we have seen in the previous cross. Again, first one, the X chromosome of the female individual, right? X chromosome of the female gamete having W and M would be fused with X chromosome of the male. It would be fused with the X chromosome of the male. So the alleles present in the male is again W and M. So this is the first offspring which is obtained, X2 X chromosome. So this would be a female individual. The second X chromosome containing the female gamete, So this would be W plus and M would be fused with the X chromosome of the male gamete. Right, it would be fused with the X chromosome of the male gamete. So that would be W and M. So again, this is an X chromosome. This is also an X chromosome. So the individual is a female individual. The third one again, the X chromosome, third X chromosome of the female, right, containing alleles W and M plus would be crossed with the X chromosome of the male. So X chromosome of the male contains which alleles? W and M. So this is again one X chromosome. This is another X chromosome. So this individual would be a female. The last thing that is obtained is again the last X chromosome containing X chromosome containing the female gamete containing the alleles W plus and M plus is again crossed with the X chromosome of the male gamete having the alleles W and M. So here it would be W and M. So again, this is an X chromosome, this is an X chromosome. So this individual also would be a female individual, right? So these are the 4 different offsprings that have been formed. Next, again, all of these 4 gametes fuse with the Y chromosome. So what do we get here again? First one, X chromosome of the female gamete, X chromosome of the female gamete having alleles W and M fusing with the male gamete. So this X chromosome, this is Y chromosome. So this would be a male individual. Second X chromosome of the female gamete having the alleles W plus, right? Having the alleles W plus and M fusing with the male gamete, that is the Y chromosome of the male gamete. So this again would be a male individual. The third X chromosome of the female gamete having the alleles W and M plus, fusing with the X chromosome of the male gamete. So this is X and Y. And the last chromosome, X chromosome of the female individual having the alleles W plus and M plus, having the alleles W plus here and M plus would fuse with the X chromosome. So this is an X chromosome, Y chromosome. So this would be the male individual. So these are the other 4 male individuals that are formed in the F2 generation, right? So now let's start getting into the phenotypes of this. So we are clear with the genotypes now. So we have obtained all the genotypes. So let's get into the phenotypes. First, let's begin with females, then we'll get into the males. So with regards to eye color, so both the alleles are said to be recessive. Now, since both the alleles are recessive, what would be the eye color here? Eye color would be white. And since both the alleles for the size of the wings are said to be M and M, recessive alleles, so the character here would be expressed as a recessive, right? And that is miniature wings. So in the first case, all the offspring would have white eye and miniature. So that individual would be a female individual. In the second condition, it is in heterozygote condition for the eye color. So there is W plus and W. Now, since there is a heterozygote condition, again here the law of dominance would be applicable. Since the law of dominance is applicable, the dominant allele will start expressing the dominant trait by suppressing the recessive allele. So here the phenotype with regards to the eye color would be red eye, and with regards to the size of the wing, since both are recessive allele, only the recessive trait would be expressed. So this would have miniature wings, right? So this would have miniature wings. So red eye miniature wing. So that is the second offspring. Third one, again, recessive for both the eye colors, right? W and W, recessive for eye color. So since it is recessive for eye color, the individual will have white eye, and heterozygote for the size of the wing. Now, since it is heterozygote for the size of the wing, M plus and M is present. M plus is dominant, so the dominant trait would be expressed. So the shape of the size of the wing here would be normal wing. So this individual will have white eye and normal wing. The last condition, heterozygous for both the characters. So with regards to eye color, it is heterozygote condition. Therefore, the eye color here would be red, and heterozygote for wing size. Since it is heterozygote for wing size, so the wing size here would be normal wings. So these are the phenotypes that are obtained in the F2 generation. So all the females, among all the females, a few of them have white-eyed miniature wings, red-eyed miniature wings, white-eyed normal wings, as well as the red-eyed normal wings. These are the phenotypes in case of female individuals. Now talking about the male individuals, now we know that since in males there is only one X chromosome present. So whatever genes alleles would be present on the X chromosome, the same phenotype would be expressed. So the first one, W. W means it is a recessive allele. Since it is a recessive allele, so the phenotype here would be white eye, and M is there. M again is a recessive allele. Since M is recessive allele, the wing size here would be miniature. So white eye, miniature wing, male. The second condition, W plus. So since it is W plus, it would be red eye, and since only M is there, it would be miniature wing. So the second condition would be a red eye, miniature. The third condition, W, since it is a recessive allele here again, so this would again be white eye, right? So this would again be white eye, and since M plus is there, M plus is a dominant allele, therefore the wing here would be normal wing. So the individual here would be white eye, normal wing, male. The last condition, W plus, since it is a dominant allele here, so this again would be red eye, right? And M plus, since it is M plus again is a dominant allele here, so the phenotype here would be normal wing, red eye, normal wing. So in case of males, males were said to be white-eyed miniature wing, red-eyed miniature wing, white-eyed normal wing, red-eyed normal, right? So these were the phenotypes which were obtained for the offsprings of the F2 generation. Now, after performing this cross, Morgan again gave some concluding remarks with regards to this. So what he said was, in the F2 generation, what he had observed was, among all the offsprings in the F2 generation, right? Among all the offsprings in the F2 generation, 62.8% were said to be parental types, whereas 37.2% were said to be recombinants. 37.2% were said to be recombinants. Right? So this again, another important thing what you need to remember. So this is with regards to the second cross. In the second cross, the number of parental offsprings or the offsprings which were exactly similar to the parents were of 62.8%. Whereas in case of recombinants, it was said to be 37.2% were said to be recombinant. So if you could remember, so this is with regards to the second cross. That is cross between or by taking two characters into consideration. And what were the two characters? The eye color as well as the size of the wing. Whereas if you could recollect what we just saw before this, in case of the first cross, right? In first cross, what did he say? After performing this cross, how much were recombinants? 98.7, right? 98.7 were said to be parental types, whereas 1.3% were said to be recombinants. Right? So this was the case with regards to the first cross by taking into consideration the body color and eye color. Now, if you could see the difference here, in the first case, when body color and eye color were taken into consideration, the number of parental type offsprings were said to be much higher. where 98.7 were of parental types and only 1.3% were said to be recombinants. But in the second case, when the eye color and the size of the wings were taken into consideration, the number of parental types were said to be lesser and the number of recombinants were said to be more as compared to the first cross, where the number of parental types was said to be 62.8% and the recombinants were said to be 37.2%. So by observing these two crosses, again, what Morgan said was, right? So there is some sort of relation between the extent of recombination, that is the number of recombinants formed with the distance between the two genes. If the distance between the two genes was less, as in case of the first cross, right? If the distance between the two genes was less, as in the case of first cross, more were of the parental types, that is 98.7 were of parental types and only 1.3% were of recombinants. Whereas if the distance between the two genes is more, right? If the distance between the two genes is more, at that point of time, the number of recombinants would start increasing. So the parental types obtained was only 62.8%, whereas the recombinants obtained was said to be 62.8%, and the recombinants obtained were said to be 37.2%. So what he concluded after this experiment, as the distance between the two genes would increase, the extent of crossing over or recombination also would increase. Now, if the extent of crossing over or recombinants would increase, the number of recombinants obtained in the F2 generation would be more. So that was the final remarks he came with after performing the dihybrid cross. So let me repeat it once again. So what did he say? As the distance between the two genes increases, right? As the distance between the two genes increases, the extent of crossing over would increase, right? If the extent of crossing over increase, the number of recombinants obtained in the progeny would also increase. So to prove that, again, these two experiments which was done by Mendel prove that there is a direct relationship between the number of recombinants obtained with that of the distance between the two genes, right? So this is what we have. So important things, you need to remember these ratios, because several times these ratios are the ones which are actually asked. In a cross between body color and eye color, parental types 98.7%, recombinants 1.3%. In a cross, right, considering the eye color as well as the size of the wing, 62.8% were parental types and 37.2% were said to be recombinants, right? So this is what we have with Morgan's dihybrid cross experiments with regards to the organism called Drosophila. So two different crosses by taking two different characters each, right? So with this, we'll be done with our topic called the dihybrid cross of Morgan. So in the next sessions, we'll take up with a few more topics, right? And we'll continue it later, right? Thank you.